how to play amazing blues solos at the piano? If yes, then you need to master your blues scale. But the problem is that most students learn the notes of the blues scale, but they don't learn the proper way to practice this scale. So when they end up soloing at the piano, their solos sound very boring and generic. If you want to play blues like a pro, then there are 8 things that you should be practicing to get to the pro level. In this lesson, we're going to cover these 8 topics, including the notes of the blues scale, the best fingering, my secret exercise to playing it fast, the top 3 exercises to practice every day to master this scale, the 3 most important blues scale progressions. You're going to learn 3 of my favorite blues licks, 3 amazing blues runs with the scale, and finally at the end of the lesson, I'm going to teach you the blues scale fingering in all 12 keys so that you can play the blues in any key. So this lesson has it all for you. If you're a beginner at the piano and you want to play the blues scale with total freedom, this lesson is for you. All right, step number 1 is to simply learn the notes of the blues scale. And my friends, the blues scale is a very simple 6-note scale. If you start on middle C, you play E flat, F, F sharp, G, and B flat, okay? Very simple 6-note scale. Now, if you already know this scale, that's not enough because you can learn the notes of a scale, but that does not necessarily mean that you know how to practice that scale, how to gain speed, how to play it over chord progressions, and how to play really cool solos. So that's what I'm going to teach you in the remaining steps. But before we do that, if you're enjoying this lesson, please hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe for more videos just like this. So step 2 brings us to the fingering, and you cannot play a great blues solo unless you have good fingering. And I see a lot of students play the blues scale and they'll use weird fingering. They might play something like this. Okay? And there are different ways to finger a scale, but the best fingering, in my opinion, for the blues scale is a simple 1-3 fingering. So you start on C, you go up to your 3rd finger, and then you go back to your thumb, which is a 1 finger, and then 3, and then 1, and then 3. Now there is an alternate fingering if you want to play this scale super fast down the piano. You can use fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So an alternate fingering is to start on C and come up 1, 2, 3, 4, cross under to your thumb and go 1, 2. However, the challenge with this fingering is that after 2, you have to go back to your thumb. And so you're using different sets of fingers to play the scale with this fingering. In other words, it's not consistent. Whereas with the other method, it's 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3 the whole way up, as well as down the piano. So I prefer the 1, 3 fingering, but you could also use the 1, 2, 3, 4 fingering. All right, step number 3 is to play the blues scale fast. And who doesn't want to play the blues scale super fast? Right? You can create some amazing blues licks. By the way, this is called the jump blues style. It's a really fast way of playing the blues. So how do you play the blues scale quickly? Well, many students think that to develop speed, they have to just play it slowly at first and play the scale over and over, a little faster until they develop their speed. And there's nothing wrong with this approach, but I think there's a better way to developing speed. And I call it quick shifting. And it's actually an exercise that focuses in on the problem spot of playing quickly. And the problem spot of playing quickly is crossing your fingers over the other notes. Like when you're coming down, this 3rd finger crossover can make it challenging to develop speed. So I developed 6 very short exercises that will help you with this crossover so that you can play the scale quickly. So here's how the exercise goes. It is very simple. You're basically going to start on B flat and you're going to strike that G flat and stop there. And you're going to just do this a bunch of times until you develop some speed. Okay? Then from here, you're going to start on that G flat and you're going to do another set. So you're going to go like that and try to develop some speed here. Right? And then you're going to do it one more time starting from the E flat. So you're going to go. You see what I'm doing? And I'm trying to get to that crossover note quickly and accurately. Then you're going to do the same exercise going up. So now you're going to start on the C and come up to the F as quickly as possible, okay? And now I'm crossing the thumb under my third finger. You see that? And so do it several times. Try to develop speed. Okay, then you're gonna do it starting from the F. So we have, see it? Right? Again, you're just doing hyper-focused sections of the scale that will help you play it quickly. And then finally, you're gonna do it from the G to the C. See that? Get the thumb up to the C and try to develop speed. Okay? Once you've done these 6 exercises, you'll be able to put the chunks together. So coming down, you can do that much. And then same thing up. You can go to the G, and then you can go up to your high C, right? And if you do these exercises, it will prepare you so much more to playing the full scale quickly. By the way, I wanted to mention that if you want to go deep on playing the blues and you're a beginner piano player, we have put together the full-length learning track for your level. If you head on over to pianowithjohnny.com and you click up here on our learning tracks, you go to the beginner level, and down here to styles, you'll see that we have a full-length learning track for the blues piano style, and you will learn pretty much everything that you need to know to get started playing the blues. You'll learn our 10-lesson blues challenge, our most comprehensive course on blues soloing, 10 essential jazz and blues piano endings. You'll learn the Bible of blues riffs, which are 60 of my favorite beginner blues riffs and licks, how to improvise blues in the key of G, the blues improv challenge. You'll learn how to play lead sheets like St. Louis blues and arrange them in the blues style, traditional minor blues if you like that, and 4 on the floor, which is a great left-hand accompaniment. Favorite tunes like Cruella de Vil and the Broadway kickline style, slow blues. There is a ton of content, so I'll put a link to this beginner blues learning track below. All right, in step number 4, you're gonna learn my top 3 exercises or drills that I recommend that you practice every day if you wanna master the blues scale. And mastering the blues scale is all about mastering the essential blues rhythms and patterns. And once again, a lot of students think of the blues scale as this kind of linear scale going up and down, but they don't think about the rhythms and the patterns that pro blues musicians use when they're improvising blues solos. So in this section, I'm gonna teach you 3 exercises that will help you master the most important rhythms and patterns. Okay, the first exercise is an 8th note exercise, and it sounds like this. Okay, it's a simple but very effective exercise for beginner players because it helps you play the most important note value for the blues, which is your 8th note. So here's how the exercise goes. I'm playing a blues shuffle in my left hand, moving between these 2 sets of notes, and then I go up to an F, and I play a blues shuffle like this, okay? And then it just repeats back to C, okay? In my right hand, I'm gonna play 2 notes for every chord in my left hand. So we're gonna come up, and then, you with me? You see it? And then we move to F, and we come down the scale. Down. Except you want to swing it, so it's going to sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The next exercise is a triplet exercise, and it sounds awesome. Check it out. Okay, very fun, okay? Now for triplets, we're gonna play the same shuffle in our left hand, except we're gonna play 3 notes of the scale in the right hand for every chord in the left hand, okay? I'll go slow. So we have 1, and then 2, and then 3. Make sense? And then we come down, same formula. 1, and then 2, and then 3. Make sense? And when you speed it up, it sounds pretty nice. Here it is, kind of slower. And F. Sounding great. The third exercise is a pattern exercise. And a lot of beginner blues players, they learn the scale down and up, but they don't think about patterns. Right? Those are patterns that I'm playing on specific sets of notes. So how does the pattern exercise go? It sounds pretty neat. Check it out. Pretty cool. So what I'm doing is I'm starting on C and I'm going up 2 notes and then down a note. And then I repeat the pattern. Up 2 notes, down a note. Okay, up 2 notes, down a note, and up 2 notes, and I end on C. The challenge is playing this with your shuffle. Notice how I switched to the new chord on the G, okay? And then you're gonna play the same thing coming down. We have on the F. Okay, really important exercise. All right, step 5 is to learn the most important progressions that you can play in your left hand while you're improvising with the blues scale. And there are lots of chord progressions that you could use, but I'm gonna teach you 3 of my favorite chord progressions, and they sound great with the blues scale. The first progression is what I call the funk progression, and it sounds super cool. Ah, so much fun. Okay, this chord progression uses only 2 chords. First chord is called a C minor 7. It's like a C minor, except we're adding the B flat to it. And then the second chord is called an F7, and I like to play it like this. And so what you can do is you can practice improvising with your blues scale over these 2 chords. Here's a quick example. Okay, you can have tons of fun with this chord progression. All right, the second chord progression is what I call the radioactive chord progression, and this was popularized by the group Imagine Dragons in their tune Radioactive. Here's a quick little blues solo over it. So much fun to play. So in this chord progression, we're using only 4 chords. We're using C minor, we're using E flat major, we're using B flat major, and then a simple F major. Super cool. And then what you can do is you can improvise with the blues scale on these chords. Okay, lots of fun. Finally, you can improvise the blues scale over the blues chord progression. It's the most popular progression in the blues, and it sounds like this. Lots and lots of fun. Okay, so for the 12-bar blues, that's what I just played. You only need to know 3 chords, C7, a little F7, and a G7. That's it, 3 chords. And then you play them in this order: C, F, C, C, and then you go to F, you do that twice, and then back to C, that's gonna be twice, and then you go to G, and then F, and then C, and then G. And then basically you can improvise. I'll do a little bit kind of slowly for you. So we have C, 1, F, C, okay? And then you work your way through the full 12-bar blues form using these chords. All right, in step number 6, you're gonna learn 3 of my favorite beginner blues licks. And a lick is a short repeated phrase that you can play over the blues. Okay, and they sound amazing. There are tons and tons of licks that you can play, and these are 3 of my favorite. Okay, first one goes like this. super cool. And again, not very hard. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing a high C and a G flat and sliding down to F. And then I'm going E flat, back up, and down to E flat. That's it. That's the whole lick. Okay, and then it repeats. Okay, and you can put it over your blues shuffle. Tons of fun. Okay, lick number 2 is amazing. It sounds like this. Love this sound. This is a very crunchy lick, and what I'm doing is I'm grabbing these 3 notes of the blues scale, sliding up to the G, so we have 1, and then 3 more. And then do the same thing. Slide, 3 more. And then we end with a slide, and then like that. You see that? Super fun. You can play it with the shuffle. Very cool. All right, lick number 3 is probably my favorite one. Here's how it goes. Very hip. So what I'm doing is I'm grabbing the F and C, and I'm doing what's called a turn, like that, off the F. You see that? But I'm harmonizing it with the C. And then I come up, F and C, and back down. That's it. That's the full lick. And then it repeats, and then same thing. Okay? Here it is with the shuffle slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you want to learn more blues licks and riffs, you can in our Bible of Blues Riffs course. You'll learn 60 of my favorite beginner blues licks and riffs, and how to play for the blues shuffle, and how to combine different licks and riffs. So I'll put a link to that course below. All right, step number 7 is to play blues runs. And a blues run is when you play the blues scale pretty quickly down or up the piano. Here's an example of a blues run. And there are tons of different blues runs that you can play down the piano. And in this lesson, I'm going to teach you 3 of my favorite beginner blues runs. All right, run number 1 sounds like this. Okay, not too hard, and it has a pretty nice sound to it. So I'm starting on my high B flat, turning, coming down the blues scale, and on the G, I'm going to come back up, and then I'm going to end on a chord. Okay, and that's a little pop. Okay, with the left hand, here just slowly. Okay, really nice sound. Okay, run number 2 goes like this. Okay, for this one, I'm starting on my high C, coming down the scale, harmonizing the G flat with the C, down the blues scale, and then I'm harmonizing the G flat with the C again, and then coming down the blues scale. Makes sense? With the left hand slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, run number 3 has the coolest sound. Here's how it goes. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm starting on the high B flat and turning down the blues scale and turning on the E flat. Coming down the blues scale and then turning on the G flat and then coming down blues scale. Makes sense? With the left hand slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. By the way, you can download and print the lesson sheet music by going to the quick tip page over at pianowithjohnny.com. Log in to the membership, and then you'll see the download link at the bottom of the page. All right, in step number 8, it is very important to learn your blues scale in multiple keys, because guess what? When you're playing the blues, you're not always going to play it in the key of C. Sometimes you're going to play an F blues or a B flat blues. Okay, so it's important if you really want to know the blues scale to practice it in your other keys. I'm going to briefly show you the notes and fingering for your blues scale in all of these keys so that you have it as a reference. Now, the amazing thing with the blues scale is regardless of the key that you play it in, you can usually play this scale with one of 3 different fingering sets. And so you need to learn these 3 sets so that you can then practice these scales. The first set will use fingers 1, 3, 1. The second set will use the fingers 3, 1, 3. And the third set will use the fingers 1, 2, 3. So we'll start with C, and you already know this one. We go 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. And then if you want to keep going, you can end the C on the thumb. For the key of D flat, you're going to use the fingering set 3, 1, 3. So you're going to start on the D flat with the finger 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay, pretty cool. Key of D is going to be 1, 3, 1. So we have 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Makes sense? Key of E flat will be 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3. Cross under to the A, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and if you wanted to continue, you need to cross under to the E flat. The key of E will use 1, 3, 1. So we have 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay, pretty simple. Key of F will be 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, key of F sharp. This will be a 3, 1, 3. So we have 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. Okay, pretty cool. Key of G will be 1, 3, 1. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Okay, you're doing a great job. The key of A flat will be 1, 2, 3. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Make sense? Then the key of A will be 1, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. The key of B flat will be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Makes sense? And finally, the key of B will be 1, 2, 3 as well. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Hey, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this lesson, please let me know in the comments. Also, be sure to check out pianowithjohnny.com. We have the complete learning platform for playing jazz, blues, improvisation, basically everything that you need to know to play the piano with total freedom. So be sure to check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.